Hello, I am Bentham and welcome back to Factorio, and we're going to start off this episode in the way that we usually do, where we run around and just pick up our various supplies to use for the episode. But this is probably going to be the last time I do this because, of course, at the end of last episode, I started setting up the logistics system. It's not quite fully in place yet. Well, a lot of it is, but I need to set up more stuff with it before I can just get it to deliver my materials for me. But this will be the last time I do it, so I just grab all some circuits and plates and things like that, and then I start building a roboport, and this will be above where I am right now, near the module production. I also grabbed some express splitters while I'm there, and it turns out I've messed up because I was trying to get the system positioned so that it would just fit really well together, and it turns out it doesn't. I have to shift the entire system up by a few squares so that I can actually fit everything in and have it all go together in a really nice grid fashion that's really easy to deal with. So I'm having to just shift everything up by, I think, 6. It doesn't have to be 6. I just decided on 6 because it means that I can just put one of the electricity pylons above it and then move it from below to above, and whatever. So I get that one connected up, and now we have the entire production line covered, and the robots have already started delivering some of the stuff to, well, like the first order of business, which is to take some supplies over to the production of flying robot frames so that we can build yet more logistics bots and sort of have the system build itself in a way. So that gets underway. It starts building the robot frames, but of course we need to make them into actual robots. So what I'm going to do is set up production for logistics bots and construction bots, even though I don't use construction bots that much. I usually just build everything myself and stuff like that, but they're good for repairing, so I just like to have a couple around for those purposes. I resupply on gears because we've still not quite finished setting up everything, and everything seems to take a million gears nowadays. So we get the assemblers in place. I get them fueled up, and then I need to get the supplies going to both of them. So one of them uses electronic circuits to make construction bots, and then the other one uses advanced circuits to make logistics bots. So I just get the all the belts in place and so on, and there we go. So that they're both supplied, and now I just need to put in a chest to contain them both, and then give them both the robot frames. So there we go, and off it goes, making the robots. And I think immediately we got a bunch of them because the robot frames were building up, and I try and get some filters in the chest, and I thought you could do that, but apparently you can't because it didn't seem to work, and now I'm slightly confused because I thought that was what you did with filters. I'll work that out in a future episode, but yeah, at the moment it works fine because one slot is logistics bots and one is construction bots, and that will all work fine. And now it's finally time to get the alien science going again. I've put the level 3 productivity modules, which have all been made now, into the labs, and I put in the alien artifacts, and off it goes, working on efficiency module 3, and from there we'll go to speed module, and then we'll start doing some cool stuff like the final level of power suit and more military stuff and things like that, and all that sort of awesome. But anyway, it's time to finally set up automatic delivering of materials to myself, because I'm fed up of grabbing things off the lines all the time. So there we go. I'd set up some what do you call them, provider chests, and get them connected up to the power, and then each one will be filled up off the main lines by those by the inserters, and then I put some limits in some of them because I don't want like an entire, 48 stacks of like advanced circuits or whatever, because it'll take infinite time for that to build up. So I put some limits on, just to have a couple of stacks of each, and then it's time to set up my logistics menu. So first of all I just grab some efficiency modules and stuff for whatever reason. So there we go, logistics menu. We're going to have 500 iron, 400 copper, 300 steel, and then 200 electronic circuits, 200 gears, and then 200 advanced circuits, and 100 processing units. And then I start thinking about other things that I can have delivered. So the first one is ammo, so I set up a provider chest there, and then request 200 ammo. And then I decided to do the same thing for express belts, because I don't like to have too many of them on me. Thinking about it, I'm not sure why. I suppose it's because they can be difficult to shift in certain situations, though at the moment I'm upgrading everything to express belts. Maybe I should just have 2 stacks or whatever, but I don't know. So you can see already the robots are delivering the supplies to me. You can see I've already built a few more out of the supply there. So I think there was 10 there, and I just put another 10 in, so we've now got 20, and it's going to be up to 50 by the end of the episode. So you can see I run off to go and do stuff, but they're all chasing me, of course. And that's the problem with logistics bots. You sit off somewhere and there's a bunch of bots chasing you. You're like, oh, okay, I'll just stop and let you resupply me then. You end up never actually leaving your base because they're just constantly resupplying you. You see there I released 5 construction bots so that they can be ready in case anything damaged comes along. For example, the tank, if I go out on another mission with that, which I need to because I need to get some more alien artifacts now that we've got that science up and running. But anyway, I set up a new assembler. And this one can come right off the line conveniently, so I just set up 2 inserters for that, and this one is going to be making repair packs. So we set that off going, stick a chest down. It was a wooden chest, I don't know why, because I built this so that it could be delivered to places, so I replaced it with a provider. And then I set up logistics to give me 50 of them, and then I also set up a requested chest by the nearest RoboPort, which requests a couple as well, and then an inserter to put them in. So what's going to happen is that inserter is going to keep making repair packs. They're going to keep getting put into that RoboPort, which means that the construction bots will have an infinite supply of repair packs for any damage that may occur to anything, anywhere, and so on. So anyway, time to go off and work on something else, and I think what we now go and do, well, what we need to do is check up on the old smelting areas, because we haven't been there in ages, and you can see one of the furnaces has shut down, but so I just stick a bunch of coal in there. You can see there's a bunch of mining drills run out, so I just clear those away while I'm on my way to get the coal. Grab a bunch of stacks of that. I think I've got 5 of them, as well as the 2 that I always keep on me in case there's stuff that needs fueling. And I decide to, well, of course, now that there's only like 3 miners still going, I start replacing it all with standard belts. But what I also decide to do is increase the number of miners, because I want this cleared away, really. Because, you know, there's so little left now that the system might as well not be here, well, except for the fact that it's supplying the entirety of steel production. So I'm just replacing everything with standard belts, and then I resupply all of the steel furnaces, put a bit more in the chest that supplies the other stuff, and so on. And then I hop on board the plastic train, well, the oil train. There's plastic and sulfur, because I've noticed that plastic has been running down recently. So I check up on production of the oil fractions and of the supplies, and of course it turns out it's coal, because it's always coal with the plastic production. It's always the thing that runs out. Really, I just need to put mining drills across the entirety of that coal deposit just so that it's sorted forever, but I just don't for whatever reason. So yeah, I set up another couple of mining drills, and I also set up another one for supplying the backup steam generator, because that's managed to use up one of the mining drills there. So of course that gets the plastic being produced at full speed again, but I decided to increase the speed, so that it, well, I don't know really, it's just to try and help sort out the supply, because at the moment as it is, it does still seem like even when the plastic's flowing at full speed, it's not quite enough to keep the all of the advanced circuits going. So I'm just messing about with the belts there, so we've now doubled the production there. But of course what happens then is the coal runs down, because 3 is enough to supply 1 chemical plant, and of course now we have 2, so we need more than that. So I run back up to the deposit, and I just stick another 1 down, because that we shouldn't need them. We shouldn't need both of those assemblers going up full pelt the whole time. Of course, I'll probably have to come back later on and build some new ones once the coal here has run out, but yeah, whatever. So that should hopefully be good. And what I also did was I switched on another of the chemical plants that crack liquid fuel. Not liquid fuel. I keep doing that. That's KSP. Light oil into petroleum gas, and then I also run around and put some efficiency modules in all the pump jacks, because that's something I've forgotten to do for a very long time. So we get that all done, check up on everything. I'm sorry about it being dark. I always forget when I'm playing, because it's not too bad for seeing things when you're actually playing, but in videos I think it comes out a bit darker. So yeah, I need to put more lights around the place, and I do later in the episode, so that's not too bad. So I hop on board the train and I can check on how it's going. You can see it's being constantly loaded, so that's a good sign. And then we make our way over to the unloading area and watch it being emptied out. And it looks like the inserters that unload it are going pretty much non-stop now. Like you can see, there's like a little gap in the conveyor belt further along, where one of the chests ran out for a second, but apart from that, that's it. So hopefully that should be alright, but maybe we need to increase the unloading rate later on. I'll see how that goes. But anyway, what I've done is I've added on another mining drill for the iron here, just to get it mined a bit quicker, same as before. put efficiency modules in and everything, because I just want this to be cleared away now, and then I can move on, and this could be a nice open area, and I can put someone else in. I don't know what, to be honest. There's not really anything to put here, but we'll work it out. Maybe some train-based stuff, that's always good. But anyway, now that there's a lot less iron flowing, I can clear away the actual the electric furnace is making iron, because there's not enough iron ore to do that anymore. And then with that done, I move on to the copper over here, just clear away the old mining drills that have run out, and it turns out that most of them have, and in the end there are only 4 remaining that are still going, and I just do a quick check to see if there's any, like, under the belts, any copper there, because I made that mistake before. And then what I decide to do is overhaul the system, so I clear away all the old ones, and then put new ones in a more ordered and less insane, nightmarishly messy way than before. I forgot how that sentence started. Did it make sense? Yeah, it doesn't matter. So anyway, I've swapped out the 447 to get things done nearly twice as fast. And look, it's all lovely and ordered and neat now, and doesn't look absolutely mental, and I can navigate it and so on. So I get it all connected up, efficiency modules and everything, and then it's time to put in the new conveyor belt thing, because it's changed a bit now. I'm moving it down just to be neater. Don't really need to, because it's not going to be around much longer, so, or whatever. And then I just put in something to even out either side, because at the moment it's all coming in on one side. Then after a quick inspection to make sure everything's running, that all looks good, so I move on to clearing away this old iron belt, because of course we don't need it anymore. So I can just mine this away all the way back over to over to where the current iron supply is entering. I decided to start using this other column as well, because of course there's 2 columns for iron and 2 for copper, and I'm using both on copper, but I've ended up only using 1 on iron because of how things turned out with the old train that delivered to the bottom end of the system and stuff like that. That's gone now, so don't really need to do that anymore. So I just connect this one up, and it's not got much. It's only siphoning off a bit, but it just means that I can sort of set up the system ready for when I'm going to continue to expand, because it's going to get to a point where all 4 of these columns are all running at full pelt all the time to keep everything supplied, which will be a cool thing to see. At the moment it's not even half, but of course there's plenty of time yet, and with a lot of production set up now, I can spend most of my time making things bigger and faster, and also working on trains. Need to do more work on trains, seeing as that's the whole point of the series. So anyway, what I'm now working on is connecting up the iron supply to everything else. So I'm having to use a couple of underground belts to sort of make room for all the systems, because it's all very compressed and compact, and this particular section of the line looks like an absolute mess. But at the end of the day it works, so that's not too much of a problem. I accidentally picked up some plastic there, so I just go stick that in the chest, because I can't be bothered carrying around like 2 squares filled with plastic when I don't even need one. Oh, actually, I do need one for making electric furnaces, I think. I don't even know if I need it for that, but whatever. So I'm just evening out things here and clearing up, because there was some slightly convoluted systems that I'm now just going to clear away, because I'm using underground belts more. And there we go. Only thing is, I've sort of messed up in a way, because I need to be using the express belts, because that's what everything else is using. And in order to do that, I have to go back and grab a bunch of gears, because express belts use insane amounts of gears. It's like 60 each. So yeah, I'm just grabbing all of these, and that should keep me supplied enough. And then make my way back over and replace everything that needs it with the express belts again. I also decided to put blue belts all the way down this line here, just because I was trying to make it run as fast as it could as a standard belt, and there's no need to. Eventually it's going to turn into an express belt anyway, might as well do it now. So now I just start going along and replacing it all. I don't know how much I have in my inventory, so I end up hopping from side to side, but that gets done. And then checking over here, I suddenly find that the iron ore supply is crap. So something's happened there, so I hop on board the train to find out what's going on. And eventually it sets off again. There we go. Back over to the mine. And going over, I find that there's a few more mining drills run out, so we are a bit thin in terms of the iron supply, particularly considering that we're no longer getting any from the old iron mining area, because that's all steel now. So I add in another row of mining drills, which should hopefully sort anything out there, and we should have a good supply of iron from that. And then I just do the usual system, connect it up to the power, put in the efficiency modules. But the thing is that there's so many mining drills now that we need some blue belts to make things go quick enough, but I don't have any handy. I just use them all up on the new smelting area. So what I'm now doing is trying to make use of the blue belts that are already there to try and sort of increase the speed at which everything's moving. And I also stick a bunch of turrets in, because the old ones were not where the mining was being done anymore, because it's moving down all the time. So I've just grabbed a few of those, lined them along the bottom, which should hopefully protect us from any potential biter attacks, seeing as they do seem to be a bit more angry since 0.11.1, or maybe it was just a couple of coincidences. I just steal a blue belt there from the loading area just to get a corner moving quicker. I of course just missed the train as it leaves, so I have to walk home again, but that's fine. There's the train parked and unloading, and I can check on how it's going. It's hard to tell how it's going until you leave it for a while, so that anything can build up or run down that needs to or is doing slowly. So I just leave that to its own devices and go and check on copper. Again, you can't see anything I'm doing because it's the middle of the night, but everything was nominal anyway, so there's nothing much to report. Copper's running absolutely fine, and at the moment all we need to worry about really is iron. So maybe we're back over to the production system, see how things are going. There's a bunch more logistics bots being made, so I just plonk all those down. So we've now got 50 of them going and supplying me with all the materials and so on. They're not going as fast as they could be yet, but of course that requires alien science, so we're not quite there. But anyway, it's time to extend the system a bit more. Well, it's not really time, I just decided to, seeing as it's easy enough to do. So I just expand it out to the left a bit. And what that means is that should I ever expand the production line, and I suppose I will eventually, I know that I'm not going to, well, I know where the things are supposed to be, the roboports, so I can make sure to work around them rather than having to have the entire system work around that. So anyway, I'm standing around getting resupplied and stuff, and I'm making some more roboports as well. I'm also checking up on the production of capsules, the sort of the bots, the combat bots basically, I suppose would be the collective term. But I'm not going to actually work on them today. I've got the assemblers ready in my inventory, but I sort of forget about that and don't really have enough time when I remember about it at the end of the episode. So what I just put some more alien artifacts into the science thing, I think, there. So I think that's enough now to get efficiency modules level 3 research, but we're going to need a lot more to carry on. So it looks like in next episode I'm going to be going and doing a bit of biter killing, because we need to go harvest some materials so that we can keep on with the science, because for a while now we've not been doing any science. I've just been sort of working up to starting with that again, but of course we're there now, so we need to start actually supplying it once again. And you can see I'm also extending the logistics system all the way over here. Just it makes it more convenient when I'm working over here. I'll be able to be resupplied by the robots, so they have a long journey ahead of them, particularly considering that they're not at their fastest yet. So anyway, I get them connected to the power and so on, so that's all good. I'm checking up on all the systems over here, and I decide that I'm going to put some lights out because it's night once again, and I can't see anything once again, so I just go and sort of spam lights everywhere. But halfway through this, I decide to clear away some old infrastructure in terms of power spreading, because I used to connect everything together using the little what's-my-jigs, of course, the little power poles, but of course I don't need that anymore. I've got the big pylons. So all these little power poles are just getting in the way and looking annoying, so I just clear all the ones away that don't matter, and I carry on plonking lights around the place. And what I do is I just put a light by every single pylon, because that's a decent spacing to just keep everything lit up. And I just go around and do that, putting them on all the pylons, which incidentally also means putting them by all of the logistics things, the roboports. So there we go, everything should be lit up again in future nights. But there's still a few places I need to light up, like the oil base and things like that, so when I'm over there I need to make sure to light that up as well. And what I also do with the base is add in a couple more guns, because of course as the line is extended once more, which means that if the biters did turn up, they'd be able to destroy a bit of it before they got to the guns. So well, let's put some guns on the front of it again, just to make sure that that's nicely protected. Though I don't think we've had any biter attacks on the main line for a very, very long time, and when we did, it was dealt with by a turret anyway that was quite far into the line. But anyway, just checking on science again, seeing how that's going, and then I'm just checking on circuits, and you can see that copper is completely built up, but iron is still a big problem, and I've given it a bit of time now and it's still not solved itself. So it looks like next episode we're going to need to do some work on that, because like if you saw there, all of the chests emptied between the train arriving, and that's a very bad thing. We don't want that to happen at all. And I just quickly put what blue belts I have onto the line there, because I can, and I shall say goodbye. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time.